What do we got cooking up?
I've been connecting with a lot of wholesalers. I will say that.
Same
Okay.
as well.
All right. Any conversations?
Yeah, one of them's actually is gonna get back into contact with me if she can't find a buyer. But I mean, I'm not saying that I can find a buyer for her either. That's the one when I was calling you about to ask and see maybe if you might have had one out there, but I don't think I don't know if you did.
What area did you tell me? Like Scranton or something?
No, hold on, let me find that real quick. It was like starts with a B in Pennsylvania. Berlin something. Hold up. It is in Kennington.
Yeah, I don't even know where that's at.
And Vandergrift.
Yeah, probably like the middle of nowhere.
Told me on that one. So I've never.
Where'd you find her? On the Lehigh Valley one?
I posted on a wholesaling page, connect with wholesalers, and then like a comments were flooding me, but at the same time, a lot of scams were flooding my comments, like with like leads and generators and stuff like that. But right. No, I found her on one of the pages that I was in.
Okay.
One of them that I posted in though, like that was like a Pennsylvania one. They denied my my like request.
Okay.
So I could. No.
Anything in the Tampa area?
No, I don't think I joined any. No, I didn't join any groups in the Tampa area.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more than the Poconos.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Definitely the Tampa ones now. Yeah.
How about
I one, but that's the Tampa Bay real estate investors.
Yeah, just like look up like REI wholesaling, Tampa wholesaling, Tampa investing, REI investing, stuff like that. How about you, Nate?
Connecting with a lot of wholesalers, talked to a couple homeowners. Most of them aren't really looking, as far as like a wholesale deal wouldn't work. Creative financing, they kind of blew it. I ran into this one guy that owned like 20 properties, and he wants to do creative financing with all of them, but not for like an investor. Well, why would he do like, or say that? What's his?
Yeah, he might be saying like, oh, not to an investor because he thinks an investor is going to lowball him.
Right.
So I mean, I would maybe like text him like, hey, I know you said you don't want to sell to an investor, but I mean, would you consider it if I paid you more than what they're even worth, or more than what you're asking?
Right.
And then that might get his attention. Like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's most likely what he's getting at.
Okay, so he probably thinks that I'm just gonna lowball him or something like that.
Yeah, most likely. What any other conversations that you guys had?
I'm not too known on like I don't know if we've talked about that much, but how does Foley on double closing work?
Mm-hmm. Good question. So this kind of goes back into like somewhat of the basics of wholesaling. So, right, like if we get a house under contract, we're going to write an assignment, an assignment agreement, assign it to the buyer, and that's just an assignment fee on the HUD, on the closing docs, right? So when we double close it, it's two transactions. So more or less, it goes from A to B. Title is going to transfer to A to B to B to C. A to B is seller to you, and then B to C, that's you to the end buyer. So it's two closings basically simultaneously. So it happens at the same time. So everyone, buyer comes to the closing, seller comes to the closing, it closes, done, and it's just two sets of docs. So the reason, people double close is kind of one of two reasons. So one, just assigning properties as your main form of business is illegal, because it's almost like you're acting as an agent. Now, I don't say that to scare you guys. Most of my stuff is assignments, but I throw a double close in there every once in a while. And then it looks like I bought it and then I sold it. So for Pennsylvania, they allow for you to use the B2C funds to close on the A to B transaction. So basically use the buyer's funds for the second transaction to close out the first. That way it doesn't cost you anything, right? In Florida, you can't do that. They don't allow for, you to use the B2C funds to close A to B. So you have to get a transactional lender. And that more or less is just someone that basically funds your A to B, side of the deal, and then gets paid back their money, and normally anywhere from like 1% to 3% on top of whatever they lent you. It's not like you have to go try and get a loan. So for Florida, I have a really good hook with private money down here. Just a big time player, and he trusts us. He's came check this out, whatever. So he'll give me whatever money we need. But Pennsylvania, you don't have to worry about that. But it just varies per state.
States.
Any questions on double close?
So you said that you can pretty much get a transactional loan for like that right, for like just to put it in your name and put it back, right?
Yeah, to fund it.
Okay.
So I mean,
Right.
it's all happening basically the same time. So the second he sends the money out, a couple minutes after, they're sending it back.
Gotcha.
So nothing's coming out of your pocket. And then as far as going about it with the buyer, like kind of the process behind it. So, you have your contract with the seller, and now we found a buyer. And so instead of assigning the contract, you're just going to write a new purchase agreement for that total figure, you're selling it to the buyer for. And then that's it. You give both purchase agreements to the title company. You got to make sure they're good with double closing.
Right.
I have all the title companies that are. They kind of got to be experienced too. Like, a lot of title companies, they don't even know what a double close is.
Right.
But I have those connections, so we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, you give those contracts to the title company, and that's it. They'll run the deal to the finish line, and more or less. Another reason too people double close is just simply they want to hide everything. So if you want to hide your fee from the seller, you can do an assignment and ask the title company just to split the HUD. I think I told you guys that. But the only way to hide the fee from the buyer is to double close it.
Right.
So.
Okay.
And
I think I gotta like build my buyers list like outside of just like that area, just from looking, because this one dude that I have that's been in contact with me has one in Tennessee. We don't have buyers in Tennessee.
That's the other thing. So a lot of people make the mistake of they chase deals like that are just all over the place. The biggest, one of the most important things is just honing in on one area. So between these two, it's more than enough, especially if we're just chasing free deals. Now, once you kind of dominate the free sector, then you got to start paying for marketing and all that stuff, to keep expanding, keep growing. But definitely just focus on one location, one market. Because it doesn't make sense to get 10 buyers in Tennessee, 20 buyers in New York, 15 in Tampa. You have a better shot at dispoing more deals with all those people in that one market, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
They're
in the same market.
Yeah. I learned that lesson the hard way. I was trying deals in Jersey, then New York, and I'm looking at stuff in Texas. It's just like, what am I doing? And I've seen a lot of people do that too.
I know I try closing one because my brother in Kansas is like an investor, like working with an investor type. And some dude mentioned, like texted me, hey, do you have a buyer out in Kansas? And I'm like, where? I'm like, if it's in an area where he lives, he's looking to buy for like housing to like redo it. And he said Coffeyville, Kansas. And I was like, that's like 2.5 hours from him. I was like, he's trying to get closer. I was like, so no, I don't got buyers out in Coffeyville. None. So I mean, if I see a house, I mean, I might be able to get like a deal out of it and then give it to him, sell it to him for him to buy. just if I see one, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing too, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last Zoom meeting we had, but even people that are totally new, those are really good contacts too. I don't know if I explained that. Reason being is because they're going to send you stuff that is bad. Like they locked it up at the wrong price. They're not going to be able to move it. And then that's where you get to make money, because once they fall out of contract, you get to go to the seller, because now it's fair game for everyone, and lock it up yourself, at the right price. And more times you're going to be inclined to take that lower offer because that higher one just fell through. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, when we speak to these wholesalers, we're not looking just to cut them out right away. We want to, try and help them out. Like, hey, we really got to be at this price. But a lot of times they're just going to be too stubborn and be like, oh, no, no, no. They're not going to take the advice that we give them. And they're going to lose the deal. And then we're going to get it under contract at the right price. And, sure, they could try and market it and still sell it. But, now it's our deal.
Okay. All right.
So
Anything on that? What one? The Caribou Drive.
I shot the Yep. So I shot the guy a text over the weekend, another text. Still hasn't gotten back to me. So now it's time to rip him.
Because I just, when I was scrolling through like my Facebook, since I was just like off Zillow on my phone, I seen it on Facebook again. I was like, oh, there's the house.
Yeah. Let's do a follow up after this and see if we can lock him up.
Okay.
That should be hopefully a done deal if we could just get him on the phone.
Yeah. Because it's still posted. I mean, no one's really, not that I know of anyone else contacted him, but looks like it's still sitting there.
Nate, for your deal, he should be signing today. I was going back and forth with him over the weekend, and should be good to go. So hopefully we get to dispo that one out, maybe even today.
Right.
Latest tomorrow.
Today? That's good.
So
Gotcha.
I think for that deal, I'm only gonna try and slap on 15 for us.
Right. Okay.
15K. So we'll start there, see what we can make of it.
Right. Okay. That's fine. It's fine.
Any other good conversations or even like leads that these people gave you?
I'm looking for more leads. Where can I get more leads? Because like I'm having like an issue of like running out of leads to hit in, let's just say, the PA area.
Have you called 80% of the listings on Zillow, or even 50%?
Yeah.
Even the agents?
The agents? No. I just hit the for sale by owner. You're saying hit the agents still?
Yeah, rip all those agents. I just
okay.
I just yeah, I literally was calling past 2 days. I got 3 deals right off agents.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, all in the Poconos.
Oh,
So
wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm telling
the
you,
agents they're like, how should I angle it? Wholesale or just more so with the agents creative financing?
let's rip an agent. I go both ways. So some agents are cool. They understand the investing side of things. Some of them are complete idiots and they have no idea what they're doing. And when you mention creative finance, they just blank out or they get offended. But it goes both ways. So let's rip an agent.
Isn't another way like for creative finance is like doing like the rentals?
What rental properties?
Yeah, like rental properties like for rent.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one I forgot to mention to you guys. We had guys on our team, they just go on Zillow for rent. Hey, I see you got the house for rent. I mean, would you consider selling it? And then if, obviously we still want to try and wholesale, but if not, we'll, fall to seller finance. But to be honest with you, I'd say maybe like 80% of the properties we bought were, done exactly through that. Like they were rental properties when we bought them. Already had tenants in place.
Right.
All right. So let's see if we can try and get a deal. Oops. I go to Allentown. And I got Wi-Fi, guys, so it should be good.
or
Yeah.
back in action.
So far, it's good.